Need something from me? Well, I'll be damned. You actually did it. Nuka World is ours. All of it.
I was just doing what I do best.
Hey, if I didn't think you had it in you, I wouldn't have put my neck on the line. But still, you've just got to understand, we ain't ever been on ground this solid before. Now that we're here, let's keep this party going. I'm thinking it's time we set our sights on the Commonwealth.
Why bother with the Commonwealth? Don't we have everything we need over here?
That sounds like Coulter talking, boss. Ain't a good sign. Taking back Nuka World is a big friggin' deal, no question. But it can't be the end of things. Needs to be a beginning. These bunch of savages need a goal, something to focus on. If they ain't got it, they'll wind up turning on each other. In an operation this big, we're gonna need more of, well, everything. Nobody's gonna hand it to us. We need to take it. Commonwealth has a ton of shitty little settlements that could be put to better use. Don't you think?
You sure that's wise? We just got this place back on its feet.
Do you think it's wise to watch the gangs tear each other to pieces, fighting over what's left of this place? Of course you don't. So let's focus on avoiding that. We don't gotta rush into this headlong. We take it slow. Be smart about it. If we're aiming to grab a piece of the Commonwealth, it's going to take the right contacts and a lot of muscle, right? I say we go have ourselves a chat with Shank. He's the point man for everything entering and leaving Nuka World. He floated this idea before. Been itching to talk to you ever since you took over. So I bet he's got a good idea of where to start. He's in charge of the caravan, so odds are you can find him somewhere near the marketplace.
You trust this Shank guy?
You ought to know by now. I don't trust anyone. But Shank's on the level. I got no reason to think he'd screw us. Especially if he stands to profit as much as anyone.
If you're vouching for this Shank guy, that sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, sure. How else do you think he ended up at the top of my Christmas list? Just head over and talk to the guy. He'll back up what I'm saying about the Commonwealth. And while you're doing that, I've already got the gangs working on getting Nuka World's power plant up and running. It's about time we shed some real light around here and let people know we mean serious business. Oh, and if you need my advice and you want me to keep tagging along, you've got it.
Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
Whoa there. I haven't decided yet.
Well, then let me help you make up your mind. Because it's a damn good idea. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do is say the word, and we can let the fun begin.
If I'm gonna do this, I don't want to hurt people.
No fun in that. But look, you're the overboss. You decide you want to sweet-talk the poor sods we're gonna be dealing with instead of filling them full of lead. That's up to you. But I can't change the fact that you're gonna have to run some people out of their homes so we can give them to the gangs. No one said being boss was gonna be easy. Now, you just say if this is something you're ready to move on.
I wanted to ask about your role in this.
I'm listening.
Which gang do you work for?
Don't work for the gangs. Gage brought me in to work for the overboss. Plan was I'd advise Coulter in his grand scheme to run roughshod over the Commonwealth. And despite Coulter's change of heart, I've kept my ear to the ground, just in case that day ever came. I'm hoping today might finally be it.
What is it that you get out of helping me do this?
I've been well taken care of up to this point. I ain't greedy, but people with my kind of talents aren't common. All I'm looking for is a continuation of the lifestyle I've become accustomed to, and the same piece of the Commonwealth pie everyone else around here has been itching to take a bite of.
So, what exactly is it you do?
I'll walk you through all the ins and outs of getting us established on the other side of those mountains. Claiming territory, running jobs, keeping folks loyal. Gage and Coulter also tasked me with keeping on top of the goings-on back there, so I'll provide you with guidance on the places we can hit and the places we can't. Kind of makes me your one-stop shop for causing havoc in the Commonwealth.
That was all I had.
So, does that mean you're ready to begin?
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require 3 things. Territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are 2 ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land, or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
Is there a difference between the approaches?
Well, settlers will probably rally some bodies if you try and wipe them out, but it's a guaranteed way to claim a spot. If you try to scare them off their land, there's a chance they might just tell you to take a hike. At that point, you might be able to buy them off. But it could end up getting expensive if you don't work them over a bit first. Beyond just that, there are some places out there overrun with trouble. Ghouls, children of Adam and the like. Those places aren't going to be interested in having a chat, so you're going to have more options if you go in guns blazing.
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them to leave.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The pack.
Sure. I'll get a stake on a string or something.
Gotta let the dogs run around every once in a while, huh?
That just leaves the target. Now, for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again, make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
We can't target certain settlements with certain jobs?
Unfortunately. Can't talk people off their land if there's no one around to talk to and the like. Most cases, I'll try to let you know why we can't target a place, But the biggest hindrance is if there's already some activity going on there. Though if that is the case, that Pip-Boy of yours might be able to give you some info on whatever might be blocking us hitting that spot. Now, you ready to pick that first settlement?
What were those targets you'd recommended before?
Croup Manor, Taffington Boathouse, Greentop Nursery, and the Slog. Again, I can't guarantee those will all be available targets till I check my notes. But if they are, they're certainly a good place to start. Now you ready to make your decision?
I'm ready.
Good. So, what's the target? Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
That one's the target.
Of course, boss. So, to get these folks to scram, you got two main options. Buy them out, or scare them off. Either way, the more afraid they are, the simpler or cheaper getting them gone will be. Lizzie Wyeth over with the operators should have some toys that'll make running them off easier. And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want to do before trying to run them off. But ultimately, it's up to you, boss. Good luck.
Can I help you?
Are you the one in charge around here?
About as much as anyone. Sure. Now, you want to tell me what it is you want?
There's a gang of raiders coming for this place. Mine. But if you leave right now, I promise you, we won't have any problems.
You want this place? Listen, I'm not trying to piss you off here, but I'm not sure that's gonna work. This is home.
Look, I'm trying to help you here. You need to go. Now.
Oh, that's how it's gonna... Fine. Take it. Place is all yours.
Rumor going around is that some big bad raider boss strolled into the Commonwealth and talked a group of settlers right off their land. Not too shabby.
It's a damn good start.
I'll make sure your cut of any caps the outpost pulls in are waiting in your quarters. So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Why stop at kneecaps?
Let me talk to them. I'll get them to hand over what we need.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping an eye on the place once you get them to bend the knee?
The disciples.
Sounds like a plan. Then all that's left is the target. Only wrinkle is that it's got to be near our crew's new outpost. No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by to follow up on threats. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range of our outpost, you can check the map in your Pip-Boy. The Slog might be a good choice to hit, though I'd have to confirm that's still the case. So, where do you want to hit? Huh. Was that? Believe that spot's one of yours, boss. Still want to proceed?
Does that matter?
Only if you want to keep control of it. Targeting a settlement for a job is gonna break whatever connections you might have had to the place. Worth taking a moment to consider how much you like having that spot under your thumb. So, that the target?
That one's the target.
Ruthless. So, to get these settlers to cough up provisions, they need to know that we aren't a crew to be trifled with. You can try convincing them to pay up, or you could rough them up some. Let them know we mean business. And if none of that works, well, I suppose you could always try paying one of them to convince the rest. Just bring us back something nice.